I want to talk about Jason David Frank, who passed away. I found out Jason David Frank passed away during the AEW pay per view. I got a phone call from somebody very close to, well, maybe not close to him like a personal way, but somebody who is in those circles, if that makes sense. And I was told Jason David Frank died, and then I was told the circumstances behind it, and then later on in the evening, I got a second person to basically confirm it. It's weird because this guy, like, was the heart of Power Rangers. I mean, I remember, I've been watching this dude since like third grade. Since third grade. I remember when Power Rangers started and the Green Ranger arc, Green with Evil, was like super hyped up as the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers miniseries. And when they brought in the Green Ranger, who had that awesome Dragon Zord, and obviously I know that the footage is all from Kyoto Sentai Jurenja. I know that. It's just, it's one of those things where he had the coolest Zord and they accessed new weapons and things like that. So it's one of those things that he stuck around. I mean, he stuck around. Season 2 became the White Ranger, and then the Red Zeo Ranger, and then the Red Turbo Ranger, and then he came back in later on in the Dino Thunder season. I mean, he's always been there. Tommy Oliver. He became, once they made him the leader in the second season, he just blew up even more. I mean, the dude did so much Power Rangers, maybe more than any other actor, as far as how many episodes they did. And then, afterward he had that clothing line, Jesus Didn't Tap. I'm pretty sure that was him. And he started fighting in MMA because this guy was a real martial artist. And then, he, from what I understand, he wanted to do a movie about that Lord Dragon storyline, the Draken storyline or whatever. I haven't read it myself, but I heard of it. And Hasbro denied it. But from what I understand, the dude was going through some marital issues. I think he was getting divorced. There was talk of him being very depressed. And I understand, like, if you are out there and if you are depressed, I'm not condoning at all to take your own life, but you should definitely talk to someone. Even though I understand your pain, you should talk to someone because a lot of times it can help. It can really, really help. And it's an unfortunate situation, I think the character of Tommy Oliver was always important to the show, but I think Jason David Frank, was the heart of the show and somebody who was seen by millions. I mean, Power Rangers was one of the biggest shows, probably the biggest live action kids show of the 90s without question, and went on and on from there. And I met Jason David Frank. I met him in person in the Chinese Theater in LA the day of the Broly premiere, Dragon Ball Super Broly. He was there. And because I guess he's a Dragon Ball fan. I didn't even know. And I told him that he inspired me to do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which is true. I'm not like a jiu-jitsu fighter or anything like that. I did it a couple times just to roll around, and it was cool, but I never got back into it, even though I love the sport. I love mixed martial arts. But Jason David Frank, he from all accounts, from everybody who's spoken to him, the dude's done a gazillion cons. He was super nice to every fan that I know of. I've never heard any negative stories about Jason David Frank. I've heard negative stories from other actors, but not Jason David Frank. Obviously, I don't know everybody, but I do know that everybody I have talked to has always said that not only did Jason David Frank, treat fans good, he would sometimes go above and beyond and give fans things for free and just be really, really kind. And I know he's been going through some stuff. I mean, TMZ talked about how he went through a divorce, and that was probably very hard on him. He's got kids. It's just weird, man. It's weird. Like, it's weird. I'm actually blessed to have met the guy. And, at one point I wanted to actually interview him, but I didn't think I actually had the ability to. Now I'm starting to see that, I'm starting to see that, I never got that chance. He meant a lot to a lot of people. I mean, on Twitter, I got shit from people because they thought I was making it up. They thought, people who don't know me, who don't get my credibility, thought I was literally making up a story about a dude dying for clout. Like, is that, like, every single thing that I do gets twisted into being something negative, yo. Like, it's to the point where now it doesn't even matter. No, dude, I fucking posted that shit because I was shocked and I was just completely floored by it. And then later on, I decided to delete it. But it's out now. I mean, it's confirmed now. It is what it is. But it's also an unfortunate situation because that's the dude you could always count on for that franchise. And to be honest, I kind of hate Hasbro for not letting them do that Lord Dragon movie. Like, I've heard other things about Hasbro being pricks, but this is really cements it. So, yeah, man, it's just crazy that we lost Kevin Conroy in the same, few days that we lost Jason David Frank. I mean, it's like, these are two guys who were very important to 90s kids. Very important. They did a lot for us. And that's why I'm not even mad at those people on Twitter who were dicks to me, because I understand they were upset and they were emotional because this guy was a lot of people's hero. I mean, the Green Ranger came back from losing his powers and he always saved the day, and then he became like the leader. He's the star of both Power Rangers movies, not the first two, and then the 2017 one he had a cameo in it with Amy Jo Johnson. So, I mean, I remember he was also on like an MTV drama show besides Power Rangers. I don't remember the name of the show. It used to come on like Sunday nights. I never watched it. He did a lot of like straight to video movies and things of that nature. But, yeah, I don't know. He passed away, and just if you're out there and you are going through a hard time, depression or whatever, just talk to someone before you do anything crazy. Just talk to someone. Like, even if you can't afford a therapist, because that is the best thing to do, or a psychiatric person, that's okay. Like, psychiatrist or psychologist, whichever. You can also talk to just a friend who will listen. Anyways, I'm out. Take care. Don't really have much else to say, yo. We'll talk soon.